do you think are your inspirations?
My inspirations, say, it's like there's so many. I don't even know where to start sometimes. But when I think about where I started, with my rock band journey, I guess would probably be me discovering corn for the first time. And so for the longest, my cousins would be like, "Allison, you have such a beautiful voice. You need to be a singer." And I was so shy. Like I wouldn't talk to anybody. Like doing this now would have never happened so many years ago. Like I would have never saw myself doing like an interview or something for my band. It was always like a dream, but I was so shy. I didn't, I was just like, I'll never be. I want to do that, but that'll never be me. And then fast forward, I get into high school, I meet some guys, and that I'm not in a band with them anymore, but they heard that I had, a voice. They were like, "Oh, we heard you could sing, like, and you're always wearing like your big corn shirts and all that. Like, you like, would you ever want to sing rock music?" And I was like, "I don't know," but like I said, I was so shy. Like I was like, I don't know, I always wanted to, but I was like I finally I was like, if you really want to do this, you've got to change your mindset completely. I was like, you've got to almost become a different person. I'm like, and I'm asking myself, can you do that? Because like I was like, my teachers in school used to beg me to talk. They'd be like, "Allison, you need to respond. Can you give me something? I need to know that like you're with me, And I'd be like, I just wouldn't. I don't know. It was like I was scared to say something. I thought maybe I'd get made fun of or whatever. I don't know what it was, but at the time I wouldn't say anything. But my cousin introduced me to corn, and I like fell in love with that genre. Then I had to go into like Limp Bizkit, System of a Down, Slipknot. Then it all just it just started. But my biggest inspiration is actually Seven Dust. Like I love Seven Dust. Like I've seen them over 30 times. Like I'm obsessed. Like it's a bit of a problem, and like they're coming to Little Rock, Arkansas, and I'm already like, "Can we go? Can we go?" And my husband, who's my guitar player, he's like, "Allison, you've seen them like 35 times." I was like, and like, what's okay? Let's add one more, 36. But they're like, for some reason, like when I see them live, like they have so much energy and just passion. It drives me to do better, and it's almost like I go for that inspiration and the love of that band, but they also motivate me. And I think it's like seeing like a motivational speaker, you know what I mean? And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to be a better person, just watching this person talk. But it's like that when I see them play. So it's like, yeah, I've seen them 30 something times, but it's kind of like therapy, inspiration, motivation, all in one at this point. So it's like, I mean, I'll see them until they stop playing. That's just how I am. But yeah, I wanted to be like the female version of Jonathan Davis, like I said, when I was like 12, 13. And I can remember like me and my cousins, like she would call like her boyfriends and stuff, like talk to him on the phone. But she always like make me talk with her. I don't know why. It was just something we did. And she's like, "Allison, sing them some corn." So I'd be like on the phone singing corn. And then like ended up going to this bar. I was underage. I wasn't drinking or anything, but they had like karaoke that night, and they're like, "You got to sing corn." It was like this big thing, and I like listened to pop there for the longest. I didn't know anything about all this, so my voice actually fit with it oddly, and so I just kept rolling with it, and after that formed a few bands, and then which led to Roses Unread, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like sometimes we have some corn vibes to us. Like there's a few songs I'm like, I can hear that coming out whether I wanted it to or not. But and I think a lot of it's like that growl thing I do, where he does that. And I'm like, did I pick that up from Jonathan Davis? And it's just snuck in just through my inspiration. So a lot of it, yeah, a lot of corn, a lot of Seven Dust, and then I have like some pop influence too. So it's a little bit of everything. But grew up listening to the Beatles, and then it just escalated. But it's like how do you go from Spice Girls to corn, but that's what happened because like my cousin, she met these skater boys in high school, and she was listening to the same stuff I was, like she was listening to Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys and Hanson and all that stuff, and then she got to hanging out with them, made friends, and they introduced her to that, and then I'll be like, "What are you listening to?" And she's like, "Oh, that's corner." I'm like, this is interesting. This is different, but I loved it. I'm like, should I like this? Like, do I like this? And then I remember it was one night. I don't know why clearly I can remember this, but she was on the phone with her boyfriend, and her room was like a mess. And I'm like so OCD, I could not stand it. So she was playing that Follow the Leader, Corn's Follow the Leader, and I was like steadily cleaning her room, and I caught myself like singing along, and I'm like, I love this. Like it hit me. I was like while I was cleaning her room, I'm like it just hit me. I'm like, I absolutely love this music, and it just stuck after that. It's just crazy how you can remember little things from your childhood, like you said, inspiration that like led up to like how I am now. So it's kind of crazy. It's wild thinking about it. It really is.
That's
You made me think of
good.
some stuff. You made me think of some stuff I haven't thought about in a long time. I didn't. I was like, dang, and I remember that too. Just when you open up a box, like it's like some people just want to say, oh, like so and so and so and so, but it brings back like memories of how it all started for me. It really does. Like it's because they were a big influence. Like corn. Like I was the corn girl in high school. I remember like they were like, oh, that's that girl. She likes corn. That's the corn girl. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm the corn girl. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. But it caught on because then like those other guys in high school figured out I could sing and I liked rock music. So they're like, hey, you want to come try it out? And I remember I think they made me sing like Caesar and Evanescence. And the first time it didn't work out. And then like my best friend at the time, she was like, you need to give Allison another chance. So she's like, she's learned all y'all's songs. She just needs to get up there and sing one. And I got up there and sang it and they all just kind of stopped. And I was like, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. And they made me sing a few more. And they walked outside and I went over and talked to my friend. They came back in. They were like, so do you want to be in the band or not? And I was like, what? And that was just like a big moment for me because I was like, I never thought I'd join a band. And then, that fell apart and then ended up starting another one. And then that fell apart, started Roses Unread. So it's like, I never thought I'd be the one to even start a band. I'm like, I need to know all these people to open these doors. But it came down to it. And I just made my own, and I don't know. It's been a wild ride. It really has. It's been crazy, but worth it, but crazy.
Maybe someday Jonathan goes to see your concert.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like that would be so cool.
But you must be wearing his shirt.
Yeah, that would
Para Navidad.
that would be awesome. Like and like one of my I would love to like play with Seven Dust. I probably would like pass out and die, honestly, if we ever got the opportunity. They'd be like, Roses Unread, you're opening up for Seven Dust, and I'd just be like, plunk, I'd be like this. No,
Are you okay?
yeah, and they like Allison, this for real. Like no, it's not. Like I'm done. Like done for. Like like I said, there's like certain things. If that ever happened, yeah, I'd probably pass out. I just pass out. And they'd be like, no, this is real. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, I would just think I was in a dream. But I love them so much. Like that, like they are my main influence. Like, I love them. Like, 30, 35 times.
If I go.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Who writes the lyrics of the song?
Say that now?
Who writes the lyrics of the song?
The names of the songs?
The lyrics of the song.
Oh, the lyrics? It's anyone in particular, or like who writes them? You said who writes them? I'm sorry, it was like breaking up.
No, who writes?
Who writes the lyrics?
Yes, the lyrics
So,
of the song.
majority of the time it's me, but like sometimes the guys will like bring me like ideas and things, but like normally I'll say I'm like a poet at heart. Like I actually have a book you can get on Amazon. It's called Intersection at Rose Boulevard. So that kind of did stem from poetry too, because I wrote poetry before I did lyrics. So like I don't even know how many books full. Like I have like the published one, but I have probably over 100 just because I've been writing since I was 12. It's a ton. My mom's like, you need to make more room for your books, and I was like, I don't have room. Like they're just everywhere, and I had them in a trunk for the longest time. And you're gonna think I'm crazy for this, but like I took all my notebooks and I rewrote everything I had and consolidated it until like just so I'd have so I wouldn't have so many books. And I like, it kind of killed me to throw away those old notebooks and stuff. But I was like, I still have the poetry. I still have the poetry, but it's just like sentimental because there's some books I look at, I'm like, oh yeah, I got that, da 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 da, but I don't have room for it all, So it's like I had to do something. So now I have one shelf over here. I think that's actually the only one I have when I had a whole trunk full. So that's how much I consolidated. Because some books only have like 50 pages, some would have like more than 100. So, and it took me like a good 2 years to do that. But I got it all done, and now I have it all on one little stand instead of a big trunk. So, and I can get to it easier because in that trunk I couldn't, it's like I was having to dig. This is just all on the shelf. So I was like, I'm glad I did that. It took a long time, but it's easier to write lyrics that way because I can just pull something off. I'll just like go through and I'm like, oh, that's gonna work with that. And sometimes I'll take what I have and I'll completely like revamp it or change it. Like if I don't, I'm like, this is not fitting. How can I change that lyrically? But it usually all starts from a poem. It really does. So it's interesting because the guys are like, I don't even know how you just do that. You just pull something off and look at it. And like, I'm like, if it's speaking to me and it fits, it fits. And sometimes something will just come after I hear something that they've written for the first time. And I'm like, that wasn't a poem. That's just how I was feeling at the time. So sometimes it comes out that way, but majority of the time it's me grabbing a poem and playing off that. So.
What could you tell us about your latest album?
The latest album?
Yes.
So so the last one we did was Rapture, which was it came out 2019. And right after we had Rapture, COVID hit. So it like screwed everything up. We had like big promotion for it. We were like ready, and then the world just shut down, So we couldn't go promote it and do. So we had to do a lot of stuff like online and do like blogs and stuff. And then after that, we just kind of released singles. So we had Creatures and Leave a Light On, Fireflies, Down and Out, and now Brand New Me. So there's like 6 on the newest EP we put out, but the last one that was like we actually called like an album EP was Rapture. So we're gonna try to like in the future actually do an album and not just singles. But like right now it's just like what we've got, so it's just what we're rolling with. But we do have one coming out soon in a few months, and I'm really proud of it. Some new music video. So that one I'll add to the single collection we have like right now. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. I can't say much about it like I want to because literally so this music video, we've had it for like the idea of it for like a year, but nothing wants to line up to let us do it. So we finally found like a good month, a good time, like everybody get together, got all the props, got all the pieces, and like made it work. But it seriously, I feel like it took so long to get it going. And we literally shot it. We shot it like in 2 days, but not like the whole day. And it was like the simplest one. I'm like, this one was like the simplest one we've ever done, but why did it take so long? But I mean, that's just how things happen. But like, I'm so ready to release it because it's like, it's been a long time coming on it. It's like, been sitting because we released Brand New Me before this one. We're gonna release the other one first. Timing messed up, so we did Brand New Me, and we're gonna come back to it. So I'm like, finally. But it was so this I will say this one's a lot different. It's like it's kind of funny, like it's a serious song, but the video's funny, and we've never had a funny video. So I'm wanting to know how people react because it's so different. Like it's so different. I will tell you the name of it though. I'll tell you the name of it. So the song's called Murder She Wrote Me. So it's like I said, serious lyrics, funny video. So if you can kind of put your mind to what you might think that would be about. But yeah, so it's kind of like a play off the actual show, Murder She Wrote. And then we kind of put a spin on it our own self. So it's got that theme, but just think funny. That's all I can say. But I'm excited about it. I really am. Like I'll watch it back. Like it's ready. We're just gonna get everything ready for release and all that. And I watch it back and I just like laugh the whole time because it's just ridiculous. It's like you have these serious lyrics, and then the video is just out there.
What's going on here?
But love it because we like everything we've done. If you go back and watch all our catalog, it's so serious. I was like, we needed something to like, just brighten it up for a minute because everything's just so dark and serious. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just ready to get it out there and see what everybody thinks. I think everybody's gonna be like, this is so stupid, but it works. That's yeah, because it is very stupid, but it works. Yeah, can't wait.
We will see.
Yeah, it's like when you finally see it, you'll be like, that's what she meant. Yeah, because it's ridiculous. Like my mom, I was like my mom see it because she's like, I want to see what y'all got, and she was like, Allison, that is so stupid, but I love it. And I'm like, thank you. That's exactly what I wanted. It's stupid, but you love it. And that's how it is. Like when I watch it back, I'm like, this is so stupid, but it's great. So this one's kind of my baby because like I felt like for the longest nobody saw the picture of it but me. But now they see it all. But like at the time, I was like, nobody was like, everybody was kind of like, oh no, I don't know. And I'm like, just you got to see the whole picture. You got to see the whole picture. And then it all finally came together, and I was like, okay, that's what I meant. Because sometimes when one person has a vision, it's like hard for other people to see. Like you share a vision, it's great, but and there's times it's like one person only sees it, and you're trying to see it so much, and it's like you kind of get blocked from it because you're trying to see so hard into it. So I'm just like, you know what, this one was just fun. It's gonna be okay, guys. It's cool. So it's good.
Any city or festival where you would like to play?
So my dog is like halfway barking, and I'm trying to say
I
it
hear
again.
here.
You hear him?
Any city,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Any city or festival where you would like to play?
Where we like to play.
Yes.
So we actually have two shows coming up, but I just want to go different places I've never been. Like we've kind of just been like, okay, we have Tennessee and like basically our surrounding states. We have our border states, and we'll venture off into that. Like the farthest we've gone, I think would probably be Texas. We went to Texas and like played like 4 shows there. So I would love to go back to Texas because it was really cool. But I'd like to go out further. I mean, and I'd of course love to go to a different country. Like that would be awesome. Like that would be super cool. Because the only country, I mean, and that's, I mean, I feel like you can't even call it a country sometimes because like I'm attached to it. So like it's Canada, and we went on a cruise. My mom and I went on a cruise to Canada, and I thought it was like the coolest thing, just leaving the United States because it's like, I live in a small town. Like you could probably tell my accent. I am country girl. Like small town. Tennessee. It's like, and yeah, we ventured out, but like the band has enabled me to go further than I probably would myself. So it's like, oh, we have a show in Virginia. Okay, we're going to Virginia. Like I've never been to Virginia. We got lost in a cow field in Oklahoma. Like, and, and I just like, I love that stuff. So anywhere we get to go, but we just, I don't know if I can say it yet, but I can tell you a little bit. But today we got offered a show in Memphis with Butcher Baby, so that'll be cool. So I was like, Butcher Baby's in Dead, so I'm like, I gotta figure out how to get my schedule so I can take off and do all that because I'm a school teacher too. Like we all have full-time jobs. Like I teach and then I come home and do music stuff, and it's like go 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 go. So been at work all day, teach 3rd and 4th grade. I teach STEM, so it's like I gotta do like science, but I always throw music in there. Like they have to learn through music. Like that's the rule. Like I tell them, I was like, the M in STEM is math, but it's also music, and they're like, oh, and because like we learned so much through it, so they all know I'm in a band, and they like look me up, and it's like crazy because they're like 9 and 10 year olds, and they like think I'm crazy because like she's teaching us, but she's like up on stage headbanging and like throwing down. It's like they don't think it's the same person. I could actually like say I have a twin, and they'd probably believe that more. Like they would be like, "That's Miss Allison's twin," but but yeah, it's just it's hard sometimes having a full-time job, but like everything's so expensive. You gotta live, and you can't you just can't base it off one thing. So I'm like, I just can be passionate about both and do both, and if music takes me, I'll go. But like right now it's just, and everybody's, we gotta have jobs, we gotta live. So it's hard, but I would love to go anywhere really. But looking forward to the ones we have one in Nashville and Memphis. So hopefully we get some more out of state stuff and can travel more because I miss it. We've kind of had like, I wouldn't say like a dead spot. We've had like a lot of personal things going on, so it's kind of like kept this year's kind of just been a strange year. So hopefully 2025 will be better for us. I mean, so far we already got like 2 shows coming up, so I'm like that's better than last year because with everybody's things going on, we just couldn't play as much as we wanted. But my drummer, he lost his mom. It was just a lot of just a lot of family personal stuff, like people and changing jobs, losing jobs, and all these different transitions. So we were like, you know what, we'll take 2024. We did 2 music videos. I said next year we'll focus on writing and playing more shows. You can only do what you can, but it's it's just part of it. But we just don't quit even if we have like downtime or times we gotta just chill. We just keep at it and do the best we can. I mean, that's all you can do. It's tough. It really is. It's so tough, but I love it. It's like music's my therapy. Like I don't know where I'd be without it. Like I have to have it. Like I just have to. Like I'm like regardless if we ever make it big or we do whatever. Like I just love doing it, and that's why I do it. Cause and other people, they've told me like your music has got me through. And that means a lot. And it's like, well, keep doing it because it helps you, it helps other people. You might as well, even if you don't make it bigger, you don't get to where you want to go, you're still reaching people and you're still helping people and you're helping yourself. So it's therapy. It's mine. I know it, like, because I mean, like, I've dealt with like a lot of past issues and stuff, and like music's always been the one thing that's got me through, no matter what. Nothing else has. That's always been there for me, and it always will be. If I'm making it, all right, as long as I have it, like you said, inspirations, like Seven Dust, cool, like there's all this good music that just fuels you, and like I think that's what it's all about. It's not about like, oh, they got to be on that show when we didn't. It's not all about that. It's like it's just the love of it. That's and I think like I was a lot more competitive when I was like younger, and I was like, oh, I've got to do this. No, as long as I love it, I can do whatever I want with it. So that's my stance on it. I know I'm just blabbing at the mouth right now, but I don't know, you're making me think about different things like a lot of people, other interviewers they haven't. So it's just you're doing good at it.
It's so deep, a deep conversation.
Yeah, because like a lot of interviewers will like ask you just like not like the way you're asking is different than how other ones do. And it's just like I just feel like I answered the same way all the time, but the way you're asking, I can kind of just like I don't know, I can give you like my thought about it, more my process, and because other ones they just want like the all right, da da da, no, let's move on, da da da, and like you're like giving us time to like conversate. So a lot of people don't do that, so I appreciate that.
The thing is that I'm really shy, and when I have to talk in English or
Yeah,
in Spanish,
yeah. Look, because I've done so many of them, and it's like to the point I feel like I repeat myself a lot, and I'm like, you need to like try to talk about things you don't normally talk about. So it's like that's helpful that that you ask them that way because I feel like I'm like I just said that the other day in an interview, or I did I already said that, or I need to say this a different way. So it's kind of cool that I'm talking about like 12-year-old Allison, and she was like writing poetry and talking on the phone to boys, just like random stuff like that because that's honestly where it all started. Like that really is. It wasn't just like one day I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. No, there's like a backstory to it. Like it leads up to moments where like that's where it all started. Because if that wouldn't have happened, that wouldn't have happened. So it all leads up to things, and mine just happens to be weird. I feel like, but because like if you like imagine like two teenage girls on the phone with boys like singing corn to them, like what? Like, but that's what we did, and we thought we were cool. We thought we were so cool doing that. I'm like, little did we.
you
We
have
were
to
nerds.
you have to come to Spain
Yeah,
to play in Spain, and I go to see you in a concert.
we would love that. Like that would be so cool. That would like I said, I would love to just play. I like there's states I haven't played at, and I'm like, I'd love to go to, out toward Lake California and play, not now because it's a fire, but, but I would love to go to California or like New York and play, or, Michigan, anywhere. But like, it's just hard. And like, no, like a lot of people don't want to pay. They're like, you just come play for free. I can't do that. Like that's just, some people expect you to just come play for nothing. And it's hard because, there's four of us. And then if we have to get like a hotel, like, we can't sleep in the van. I mean, we could, but that wears you out even more. So it's like, there's just so much to it. And I wish it was just, we could just do that. But, it's just a lot to it. And but I would love to play in a different country. I would love that. That would be so awesome. A lot of my friends have gotten to go and do that, and I'm just like, you know what, good for them, because like, and that's like really cool, like to say you played in another country like that. I mean, you go visit another country, but say, hey, my band played in a different country, like that's cool. I think that's awesome. So maybe one day we'll get that chance.
We see each other in
Yeah.
Spain or near Spain.
Yeah.
In the UK
I mean,
or something like that.
yeah, that would be awesome. That would be so cool.
Near the
Yeah. Yeah.
What word or phrase do you think defines your band?
Word or phrase? Oh Lord. Like we used to always say we were like space pop metal, but like I don't really feel that way. I mean, I would think there's pop tendencies to it, but I feel like it's more new metal. But like the band name kind of like when I mean, that made me think of that when you asked that, like a phrase. But the band name, like for a while in our area, female musicians like were not respected. Like if you weren't a guy up there singing, they did not respect you. It was like we're not even listening to this. So like at the time we had a different name before Roses Unread. And it was a band overseas. They were actually called Black Lace. And we couldn't come up with a name to save our lives. So my dad, he's sitting over there in his chair. He's like, won't y'all call it Black Lace? And I'm like, that'll work. Because we had a show coming up and we didn't have a name. I don't even know how we got a show without a name. I don't even know how that happened, but we did. And I was like, we gotta have a name. And so he said, about Black Lace. And then like a few months later, this band emails us and they're like, you need to change your name because we already have it and we'll seek legal action. And I'm like, bet, I'll change that name, because I hated it, I was like, we're not like in the 80s. They were like they were an 80s rock band, had a female singer. Like, I don't know if they're still around or not, but they were like, you got to change your name. So I was like, great, on it. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And like, we built up our little Facebook page, or our MySpace page. Let me go back. We built up our MySpace page, and then we had to shut it down and change the name and start all the way over. And then, MySpace closed down, and then we went to Facebook. So it was like, anyway, so going back to not being respected in that community. So I was like, trying to come up with a new name, and I was like, like what can I do? And I started thinking about somebody judging a book from its cover. Like, you're just judging us because we have a female singer. You don't even know what we sound like. Or like, I thought about like a rose that hadn't fully opened up or bloomed. You haven't seen all of what it has to show. So I kind of put the two and two together. So honestly, like for the longest time, that's like kind of how I felt. But like as time went by, it got like, a lot of, there's tons of female artists now that are respected, but it wasn't like that for the longest time. But like phrase, I mean, like I said, I don't really have a phrase, but I was like, but it was like space pop metal, and then it turned to like pop metal, then it was like pop new metal. We're just like, you know what? We're just what we are. We're just what we are. It's like it's everything. It's constantly changes because I think about like Creatures and Rapture and Lie to Yourself, and they were all very heavily new metal driven. And then you have like Fireflies and Brand New Me. They're more like on the poppy side. They're still rock, but they're they both kind of they have their differences. So it's like we kind of flip flop back and forth, I guess. So like what we want, but like what comes out just comes out. You can't really control it, So then this next one, the one that I was telling you about, it's kind of It's more poppy actually. You know, it's got like riffs and stuff, but it's more pop driven. It's kind of like my drummer. He's like obsessed with Taylor Swift. He is obsessed with her. So of course we had to cover one of her songs. So we cover I Did Something Bad. So like this one's kind of like my personal version of that one in a way, but it's not. So it's like the two kind of tie together in a way. Like I think we play them like back to back too, which is cool because they have like lyrical, like similarities in a way. So it's kind of neat, but it's not as poppy as like I Did Something Bad, but it's poppy with riffs. And it's got like just a driving drum beat. Like it's kind of like Brand New Me, but a little more poppier, I would think. But still riffs. Still riffs. I don't ever know like what we are. we just we just write, and whatever comes out, it just comes out, and we just were like, okay, this is it. This is what you get this time. I mean, I don't know. We're not very big on ballads. I love ballads, but there's nothing like better than like a driving song. Like I love just things like, or you can like actually see yourself driving like fast in the car, like to it. That's the type I like. I'm like I can see myself just cruising, just like jamming this. And if it doesn't give me that vibe, I'm like I don't know. I don't know if this will fly. I mean, I'm gonna like enjoy this. If I was like in the car, like driving, would I like enjoy this? Would I feel like I was like on a mission, like doing something? And if it doesn't give me that feeling, I'm like I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna go anywhere with this. So I've got to have like a drive to it. It's kind of funny because it's like you have to drive, but like a drive, like it has to. Like I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense to me, but yeah, it's just it's interesting when you've been a band for so long, and then like you're constantly putting out music, and you don't want it to sound like you've had before, but you don't want to completely change either, because you know what I mean. Because people will be like, oh, they completely changed their sound, and then they're like, oh, that sounds just like that last album. So you have to find like a medium, so you're not repeating yourself, but you're not completely changing yourself either. The struggle's real. The struggles are like it is because you have to find that balance. It's difficult. It really is, especially if you've been a band for so long, or you've been writing so long. It's like how do you find that balance? So it's just like it's a never ending struggle, and you just keep rolling with it, and you do what you do. I just it's what it is. I know I'm rambling, but I start thinking about things, and it makes me think of something else, and I have to go there because like it makes sense in my head in the conversation, and I feel like it makes more sense to you too if you hear it. So I have to ramble. That's what I do. If like
I'm glad I was hearing everything.
if my bandmates were here, they'd be like, Allison, shut up, you're rambling. But I feel like you want to know these details. Like this is the point of an interview. It's not just like, oh, what are your influence? I like Seven Dust, Crickets. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Next question.
you know what I mean? Like I'm sure, and I'm sure, like and you've had I've had interviewers that were like very short, and I'm sure you've had bands you've interviewed that are kind of like that too. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna take our time to do it, we need to have a conversation and just be like, yeah, I like Seven Dust, and then you ask the next question. You know what I mean? So I ramble, but it has a purpose. That's what I would tell these guys. If they were here, they'd be like, shut up. And I'd be like, no, y'all shut up and listen.
Very romantic.
you know, because guys are very short and sweet to the point, and women are detailed, I feel like. We have to tell it all, and they're very just like to the point. That's the difference. It's true, though. They are. If I think about any interview we've done in the past, I'm always the one rambling, and they're like short and sweet. They're just like, I don't know. But hey, you know where you stand, and you like I'll give you like all I can because like I don't know, like I just feel like I said, if you take the time to do it, you need to do it, with passion, and like I mean that's what it's about. Music's all about passion, and I don't know, you probably you know what I mean.
Everything in life is about passion.
Yeah.
The heart of a writer.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
What would you say is your favorite song?
My favorite song? Oh gosh.
Only
You
one.
know, it's like, so like band or like in general, like that we've written or any
Both
both.
from your
Well, okay,
time.
like my favorite song to perform that I've written is actually the one we're gonna release. Like there's something about it, like I don't know if it's because it's new or it's fresh, but it's like something about it, like it just gets me going. And like it's not the heaviest, like I said, it's got like pop vibes to it, but it's like something about it, like it's just I'm like I'm ready to sing it. It gives me fuel, and like I said, it's not the one where we just go heavy crazy, you know. I love those, but there's just something about that one. And like in general, like it changes so much because for the longest time, and I mean I still to this point, have you heard of the band Dishwalla?
I think so.
All right, so you have to check it out. It's Dishwalla. Now, like dishwater, but just dishwalla. You know, they're like a '90s band. I think they came. I think they were like really strong in the '90s. Kind of like very, I'd say grunge alternative. I'm trying to think of another band that you might know they'd be like. You just have to listen to it. But the song's called "Angels or Devils." And there's two different versions of it. There's a piano one. And the piano one, like if you're sad and you just want to be sad and you're like, everybody leave me alone, I just want to be sad. And you like put it on, it's like the most beautiful sad song. But you listen to the other version of it and it's the happiest song. It's crazy. And so it's like, you know, if I like I said, if I'm just like sad and I just want to get it all out, I'll listen to that song and I'm like, okay, I'm okay. And then the happy version of it takes you to a whole nother. You have to listen to it. It's called Angel or Devils. I'll like send it to you. Like it
Okay,
is.
perfect.
And my cousin, the one that we used to like sing on the phone. She's like, this is crazy. She's like, this is crazy. I'm like, I know. You listen to this one and you're so sad, and then you listen to this one and it's like unicorns and butterflies. You know, it's like what you know. You just have to listen to it. Like I can't. So and I think that's one reason why that's my favorite song because it does that. It's like I don't know any other song where I'm like I listen to one version and I'm like in tears and the other ones I'm in tears a different way, you know? Like to me that's the song. Like that's the song. It does that to you. Like that's so like I mean I always go back to it. That's the one. And I say, I know this is morbid as hell, but I'm like I want that played at my funeral. I was like, I want that. So I want both versions. Like with like when it's the sad time, you know, when we all first come in, you can play the sad one. But when it's time to say goodbye, you play that happy one. I said, if somebody just remember that for me, please. Like somebody, if I go before you, if you don't remember anything, remember that, you know? So, I mean, I think that's the one. Honestly, I always go back to it. Cause I mean, I love other songs, but nothing like that. And I think that's why, cause it has those two different versions that make you have different emotions. Cause not a lot of songs do that. I don't know. You got to listen to it.
I have
Like,
to listen to it.
yeah, and you when you'll be like I see what you mean now like it's because it I don't know and it's like I don't even know. I think the first time I heard it was the piano version, and then I discovered that it was a different one, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" You know, and open it up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I like found a gem, you know, like in the rough. I was like, I told my cousin, I was like, "You have to hear this," and then she was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Yeah, whoa!" And yeah, it's just a great song, and it's you just have to listen to it. You have to listen to it. Like I'm demanding it now. Like you have to go listen to that. Like it's
I
so good.
add it to my Spotify, please.
Yeah, it's great. Like and I didn't even really I mean I knew like of them. Like I had like knew one song, but I didn't know like the rest was just great. Like the whole album, it's called Opaline, I think. It's like Opaline, and like it's got like a lot of good songs on it. I haven't listened to the other ones they did, but like that album was great. Like I probably played it 100 million times. Like it got me through some times, put it that way. So I recommend the whole album as well. So I'll send it all to you, so you have all the
Perfect.
things
Thank you.
too. It's great. It's great. So you didn't you may see I never realized why that was my favorite song, but it makes sense now. That's why, because it does that. Like I just knew I always loved the song, but when I started talking about a while. I was like, that's what it is. Like, see, you're making me think of all this different stuff I've never talked about before, which is cool. It's neat.
You're really dreaming about this.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like,
neat though, because I was like, I was like, I wouldn't like realize I was going to talk about that, but I mean, that made me realize that's why why I love that song. It's because it has those two different versions that have two different emotions. Not that it's just a great song, but like, I mean, I'm sure there's other songs that do that, but I don't know very many that do. Like, not that I've heard or realized. I'm sure there is, but nothing that's like that different when you play them side by side. And I'll play them, like I'll listen to one, then I'll listen to the other, and I'm just like, that's crazy, the difference of that. Like, it's mind blowing in a way. Like, musically, I'm like, I wish I could write something that made me feel this way, then made me feel this way, a different way. Like, if I ever do that, I've done something, let me tell you, because that's like talent right there. That's, oh, the guy's name is, I think it's J.R. Richardson. He's like a songwriter, but he has the band too. But he's great. Like, he like talking about lyrics. He's like an awesome lyricist. So good. I've got to let the dog in. Hang on a second. He's driving me crazy.
okay.
He's like 10 years old, so he's like very wishy-washy. He wants to go outside 1 minute, then he wants to come back in, and so today I didn't realize, I saw it on the Ring camera. He let himself out of the kennel some way, and he was wandering around the house when we weren't home. But the thing is, we have to keep him in the kennel or he destroys the house. Like, he will eat things, like, because he has separation anxiety. So if we leave him, he's like destruction mode, and then he starts eating. I'm like, and my dad came to let him out today because, like, dads are tired. So he's like, I'm gonna come over with the dog. He's like, he was out already, and I was like, he was out. He's like, yeah, he opened the kennel some kind of way, and I was like, so I'm gonna go after we get off here. I'm gonna look back on the Ring app and see, like, when he let himself out and like what he did. And I'm sure he just like laid on the couch. But like I said, he's gotten older, so I don't know if he's like was in the mood to even destroy anything. But nothing was touched. It was like he'd never been out. It was the weirdest thing. But I don't even know how long he'd been out. Like, I'm gonna have to go back and look. I'm like, so tomorrow I'm locking the kennel good. Because he let himself out. I don't know how he did that. Like, unless I didn't like clamp it in the whole way or something. I don't know. But he got out of there. Like, I'm seriously feeling lucky he didn't destroy anything. Like, because I had like my Doc Martens in the floor. Like, yeah. And I had like so I dropped like two things of makeup on the floor. I'm like, I'm surprised it's not everywhere, because that's what he does. He gets upset and he starts tearing up stuff. But he didn't touch anything. I was like, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. But I'm still gonna go see when it happened, because I'm curious. I want to see how he got out and like what he did. I'm like, thank goodness that camera was in there. And I kept noticing while I was at work, I kept noticing that my Ring app kept blinking, like motion. And I'm like, why is it blinking? Nobody's home, like, why is it blinking? But I had such a busy day, I couldn't just like look and see what was going on. But it kept motion in your living room, motioning in your living room. And I'm like, why? And it was like random times. So it had to have happened like in the middle of the day sometime, but I'm just grateful he didn't destroy anything. I'm just, after the week I've had with the cars, I'm like, yeah, it would have been bad. And like, I haven't even told my husband, which is my guitar player, when he gets home, I'm like, so Mesa let himself out today. He's gonna be like, what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's getting smarter, smarter by every minute, but it was probably my fault. I probably just didn't close it, but it's okay. We'll just say the dog's smart.
Always remember that you love him.
Yeah. I can't trust the dog. And he has to wear like this collar, or he'll try to go out on the road. And I've had so many dogs get hit on our road. So I'm like, I've got to get that shock collar on him, And he's learned if it's not on, he can just go. For the longest time, he thought it was always on him and he wouldn't leave the yard. But now he knows if it's on or off, and he's been trying to go. And I was like, Dad, if you let him out, I was like, please put that collar on him because he's been going to the road. Like, he's getting smart. Like, he knows now, like, it's on or off. I'm like, there was a time we could play the game, and he just thought it was always on him. No, not anymore. Because those, I mean, have you heard of Weimaraners? They're like big gray dogs. They're called Weimaraners.
Oh, yeah.
I know, yeah. And they're like really smart. They like to like get up on the counter and, get the food, and like they're like very smart. And I'm like, I should have known we'd get to this point where he knows routine and he knows when it's on or off. And I'm like, yep, he's learned. Can't do that anymore because I thought I had him tricked for the longest. No. Not anymore. He's like, he's like, Mama, I know your tricks. I know your ways. He's like, you're not getting away with it, but I don't know. I just worry because that road's so bad. I'm like, put the collar on him, please. Just put the collar on him. And he's like, I'm just gonna let him out the back today. But I'm like, if he goes out in the front, you're gonna have to because it's gotten to the point. Like, here he is right now. Come here. I don't know if you can see him. Come here. Hang on. Come here. Come here. Come here. He's like hesitant. Come here. He thinks he's in trouble. Come here. Hang on. There he is.
Oh, cute.
He's like, I'm done with you. He said, I'm done. Yeah, and it never fails if I'm doing an interview, he's got to bark every single time. Like, it hasn't been, you could hear him outside, but normally he like goes to town. Like, and it's like he won't shut up. And normally when I'm not, he's not even barking. It's when I'm on an interview, he's just going 90 to nothing. And I have to like apologize. I'm like, I'm so sorry. This dog won't be quiet, and like right now he's being okay, but it never fails. I'm doing an interview and he's like howling, barking, scratching, doing something, panting, like it doesn't. And everybody's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. It's the dog. But he's being okay right now. Yeah, he's being okay right now, but I'm like, I'm just waiting for it. I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm like waiting on him to do something.
What's his name?
Mesa. So he's named after a guitar amp. They're called Mesa amps. Like, my husband has one. He's had a Mesa, so he's got a PRS guitar and his amps Mesa. So I was like, you know what? That's kind of a cute name. And he's a boy. Everybody thinks he's a girl because it's Mesa. But then, like, I think, isn't Mesa like table in Spanish or something? I think it's table or something.
Table.
Yeah. So my cousin thinks it's funny to call him Table instead of Mesa. And I'm like, it's Mesa. He's like, yeah, but in Spanish, Mesa is table. And I'm like, you're not going to call my dog Table. And y'all, see how he just does that. He's like, what's up, Table? And I'm like, stop.
It's too late now. For me, he will always be Mesa.
I get so mad at him though. And then like Mesa will look at him. He's like, that's not my name. And I think Mesa is also like a landform too or something, isn't it? Like, it's like I feel like it's like some type of landform. It's not like a mountain type, I don't think, but it's something. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a landform, I'll have to look it up. But it's like there's three different like mesas on it. So they're like, "What'd you name him after?" And I'm like, "A guitar amp." And they're like, "Oh, I thought you named him after like like a landform or something." No, it's not. So I always confuse people with his name. But yeah, he's named after a guitar amp because we're nerds. And so my parents have a dog, and he's Marshall. Marshall's also a guitar amp. So Mesa and Marshall, that's just, I know, we're nerdy. Can't help it. I said,
why he's angry.
yeah, that's why he's, that's exactly what it is. There's a bass called Ernie Ball, and I was like, he's so like lanky, like because it's like Ernie Ball slinky, like the strings are called like slinky something, and he's kind of long like a slinky. I was like, we should have named him Ernie. Like, he would have been a good Ernie too. Like, it's but I can't see him as an Ernie because I know him as Mesa, you know. So it's. But I said I think I'll always have a dog named after some kind of music something because it's just I think it's cool. Like I don't know, except him being called Table.
The next one will be Silla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, and my cousin's like, he doesn't know the difference. I'm like, yes, he does. He knows his name's not Table. He knows his name's Mesa. You know, like it's just like an ongoing battle, and he does it because he knows it makes me mad. Like, quit calling my dog Table. Makes me so mad.
It's
And I'm
funny.
like, I shouldn't even named him that. I'm like, no, I'm saying by my word, I named him after that guitar amp. Because, like, my husband's always had a Mesa amp. That's what he's always had. So I was like, I thought it'd be a cool name. Because you had Marshall next door. So I was like, that's, you know, two. I call them the M&Ms, you know, because Mesa and Marshall. I was like, got to get the M&Ms together, you know. And it's just funny because they're both named after guitar amps that start with M. So they're the M&Ms. They are some little babies where they are. He's like 10 years old, and like he's still like he has like this blanket and he like nurses it like he's a baby. And he's 10 years old and he's doing it right now. Like he's got a blanket and he's like it's called nooking and that's what he does. Like it calms him down. Like and he'll like when we're practicing because we like jam and like we have a little rehearsal space attached to the house and it's like loud. You have like the drum just like the drums are loud and he's in there and he's got his blanket and he's just nooking away and he's like listen to us play and he's like in the middle of the floor and it doesn't even phase him. But it's crazy because I had another dog, same dog breed, another Weimaraner, and he he did the same thing. Like when I had my first band, he would be in the middle of the floor listening to us play, like, and it was so loud. But he just stayed with it, and like Mesa does the same thing. It's crazy. I was like, I don't know what it is. They enjoy the loud music. I'm like, that's all I know because he did. I mean, it's like they almost were like a carbon copy of each other. Like he does the same thing the other one did. It's weird. I'm like, is it not loud in here to your? Because dogs have sensitive ears, and I'm thinking, is this like hurting his ears? Like, you know what I mean? I've always thought about that. Are we hurting his ears because like they're so sensitive? But apparently he doesn't mind it. So I don't know. I guess it doesn't bother him. But I would just think it would be loud. I would think it'd be like really loud to them, but I guess not. He's looking at me like, "Are you talking about me, Mom?" He is.
Why?
Yeah, he's like, I think she's saying my name in there. I'm getting the look.
They're not something for me
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Who does your makeup and create your look?
Sorry, say that again.
Who does your makeup and create your look?
So that's a tricky one because okay, so we have an art director. Her name's December, and she didn't do the Rapture music video, but she helped direct was it Line to Yourself? I think everything up from Rapture she's been a part of. So all the music videos, that leading up to that, like she's had like looks she wanted me to have because she for the longest time like I had to do all the music videos and that's fine, but it kind of took away from like the performance and like me in that zone of having to perform in a music video and do things where she can be like, okay, I want you to do this here. I want you to do this. You need to, wear this here. And it's like so helpful. Like I'm just like, where have you been all my life? Like she's my person. And I'm like, and she was like, this last one, she's like, I don't know if I'm going to have time to help the one I was, telling you about. And I was like, I don't care. Just, I need your help any way you can. I'm like, you don't even have to. I mean, she ended up being like a big part of it because she always does. But she was like, I just don't know how much time I can put forth. And I was like, I need you. I was like, please, like begging her. And she's like, okay, So and that's one thing. One reason she had a baby, so that put us off. And I was like, if I'm doing this music video, I want to do it right, and I need you. So that's one reason why we put it off for so long. And I was like, I gotta have her. So like she was a big part of that. And I've had like different people do my makeup in my videos just simply because I just know like they can make it stand out better than I can, because I'm just like, I just want to sing, what, whatever, and I get like pampered up when we do things like that, and I kind of enjoy it. I'm like, okay, I don't have to do it. I'm letting them, that's like their art in a way, So I'm like kind of letting them shine too, and I'm like, come do your thing. And I've had I had three different makeup artists. I've stuck with the last one I've had for I think the last few videos, maybe the last three videos, and this past one, she had to do my makeup a totally different way. I want to say so much about it. You'll know when you see it, but she had to completely do just completely do a 180 on what she normally does, because normally it's like the dark eyes and like bright, big, bright, like your lipstick, real red and real, just real out there like that. And it's beautiful showing up on camera, it's like, but I'm like, I can't do all that on a normal basis, I love it. I love it so much, but I can't recreate it like they do. That's why I need them, because I need something that's going to stand out. Because, when somebody's filming you, you want your eyes to pop, so yeah. You have to do it a different way. You have to totally rethink the way you normally do your makeup, so it does it does pop on camera. So I've had different styles with that, and it's so weird because I never wanted to wear dresses. I'm like, I don't want to wear a dress, and December's like, nope, you're wearing a dress, and I'm like, fine, So it ends up now that see, the ugly truth, I was wearing three different dresses, and I think Creatures, I was wearing two different dresses, and then Fireflies, I was wearing a dress. This new one, no, but like I said, because it's totally different. But she's like, you're wearing a dress, and I'm like, okay. So I kind of, I guess, have adjusted to that, but I don't like wearing dresses on stage. I like wearing pants or something, because I move better in it, I guess, for what I do when I'm up there. But when it's music video time, I'm like, okay, I've got the point. I'll wear a dress, because it ends up looking pretty cool, I will say. But she's just like, don't fight me on this, just trust me. So I'm like, all right. And she'll even go, I'll have all these outfits, and I'll have them all laid out. I'm like, well, it's just pieces, and I'm like, take this and make an outfit out of it. And so she's down on the floor, and she's like, I think this will go good with this, and because sometimes I can see it, but sometimes I can't. I'm like, I need another eye, and she's really good about bringing that together, and she'll even tell the guys, you're wearing that, that's just because she's like, this is she has, as an art director, she has that vision. And so I'm like, even if we don't see it, she's seeing something we're not, and we just kind of trust her on it. But she's been a big part of that, when it comes to outfits and things. I kind of keep, used to go really crazy on stage, but now I just honestly, as I've gotten older, I just wearing I just wearing black, something business suit. That's how I've changed, I guess. Because usually, normally I would wear some crazy dresses and tutus and random stuff, but now I'm just kind of sleek black. That's just what I like. So I've changed a lot. It's crazy to think that I went from wearing that kind of stuff to wearing what I wear now. Because I guess it just, as with maturity and age, and you're a woman, you're a girl, you change all the time. You wear, maybe you're wearing pants for a whole month, and you're just like, nope, I'm over that, and then you change again. That's just how we are. So it's helpful to have an extra eye, because I'm like, and I'll be like, December, does this look right? And she'll tell me, she's like, maybe add this to it, or take this off, or no, you're looking good on, she just has that different, eye, and I appreciate that, because it's a very artistic eye. And like I said, I postponed a whole year because I was like, I have to have you, so she plays a really big role in it. She does. But I mean, for the most part, I do my own thing, but in some scenarios, I'm like, I have to have you. I have to. It just have to. When you see the new music video, you'll know what I mean about the makeup. That's the best way I can put it. Because when I say that one's totally different, it's totally different. It's crazy. Yeah. I want to say more, but I can't yet. Have to leave.
What I see is a lot of your dresses on your videos.
The what now?
On your TikTok videos. What I see
So
is a lot of your dresses in your
so it's
TikTok
say it
videos.
one more time. Something's breaking up. I don't know what it is. It's like it got muted or something.
I have seen a lot of your credits on the
Yeah.
music videos on TikTok.
Yeah, we've got so many, and like and even if you like look back, you can tell like all the different changes on how like because like I can't consistently keep my hair one color. They're like your hair. They were like your hair is gonna fall out. You dye it so much. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know any other way to do this because like I have like my hair is like a very light brown color, and like some dyes don't take well. Like I love when my hair was black, loved it, but my roots showed so bad. It like my hair was turning gray, or I looked like I was almost bald. But it was just because of my roots. And like somebody say, Allison, are you losing hair? And I'm like, no, it's just my roots are so light compared to the black. And I'm like, I loved the black. Like you can, if you go stalk my profile, you can probably find, when my hair was as dark as your hair is, and I loved it. I love dark hair. Like I love it. And I'm like, why can't I have it? So the blonde is a little bit better, and then and then you can't have red because red fades. If like you put it in and 5 minutes later it's out. I'm sure you probably had red in your hair before. Like it does not stay. So and then I had like a purplish color one time, and it didn't stay. So I was like, I'm just gonna stick with this for a while, and I think I've had it for the last few videos. But creatures, I had brown. Actually had dark brown hair, which was weird because that was like totally not me. I was like, I'll never just have brown hair because I had brown hair. So it's like I don't know. It's just I'm wishy washy. I have one cousin, and he's always like, "You changed it again," and I'm like, "Get out of my face!" Like
You always can do a Hannah Montana.
I'm like, don't worry about me. You worry about you because he's like, and he'll like grab it. And he'll like, you changed it again, and I'm like, yeah, so.
This is
And
your
then he'll
time.
say, look, and then he'll say that I changed it and I didn't. And I'm like, you're seeing things. I haven't changed it. Like the only thing I've done is got my roots touched up. That's all I've done. And he thinks I've like redone it because he's so used to me dyeing my hair. He thinks I'm doing it all the time. Like I didn't do it. He's like, yeah, you did. And I'm like, I'm not arguing with you. I didn't dye my hair. You're just so used to it being a different color every time you see me, but I know I did not dye it. Ugh. Family, old family members, they always got something to say.
That is beautiful
And
too,
you're just like, yeah, maybe.
you
I was usually like, I love you, but you're doing too much. Oh, it's crazy. It's so crazy.
Do you have any ritual before going on a stage?
Sorry, say it again. It's like
Do you
every time
have any?
I don't know what
Anything?
it is.
Do you have any ritual before going on a stage?
I still didn't hear it. I'm sorry. It's like it's cutting. It's like it's cutting or something.
I was asking if you have any ritual before going on a stage.
I heard something about going somewhere. I was hearing you just fine, and it started
I
like it
can
was.
say more slowly.
No, it was
Do you have
like it was. I don't know. It's doing something. Say it. Try it one more time.
do you have any ritual before going on a stage?
Before going on, you say going on a date. I can't. It's like
Stay with me. Do you have any ritual before going on a stage?
I can't. All I hear is going on a date. Are you saying date? Did you say date?
No.
It's like it's weird. It's acting weird. Hang on. Say do it again.
Okay, I wrote it down here.
Oh, how did it say day? I swear you said something about. I heard ritual, but I swear you said you have a ritual before going out on a date. And I was like, but it sounded like you were saying, but on stage. Well, let me think. I usually I don't have like ritual. I'll go and like kind of warm up, but I always get butterflies. Like no matter what the show is, how big, how small it is, but it's only for like a brief few minutes. It's right before I play. And I start going like, if we don't start this right now, like I'm either gonna like pass out, explode, something's gonna happen. Like if and then once that first note hits, I'm fine. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I got this. But it's something about the first few, like the first few minutes before we actually that first note hits, and I'm just going, all right, we need to get this. We need to do this like right now. It's just that butterfly feeling. I don't know, but I wouldn't say ritual, but that happens like every single time, no matter what we're doing. We're playing. It could be we're playing like in front of 10 people. It could be 100 people. It could be a venue we've played a million times, and I'm still gonna do it. Like I'm still gonna do it. Like it does not matter. I always thought that I'd eventually get over that, but it kind of makes you feel human. You're like, oh, it kind of wakes you up. You kind of feel alive. So I kind of embrace the butterflies, I guess, because it's like, okay, because like when you get that way, you feel like, oh, okay, I feel like awake, I feel like energized, even though like, and I wouldn't even say it's like a nervous thing, it's more like an anxious, like I'm ready to do it. But that happens every single time. And normally we'll go like Rocky and Rocky and John. Rocky's my drummer and John's my guitar player. Jed's our bass player. He just kind of goes with the flow. But they always want to go to like comic book toy stores, like like where they can find. Rocky loves Freddy Krueger, so he's like obsessed. So he always wants to go to some kind of like random toy store, whatever place we're playing, to see if he can find any new Freddy Krueger stuff. Like, so we always do that. That'd be like, I guess that would be kind of ritual doing that. But like, they always want to stop there. Like and they'll like look it up. They're like toy shops, for, so we can find like horror things or like, I don't know, like I like Stranger Things. I'm always looking for like something Stranger Things. I'm always looking for that. I'm always looking for Star Wars. And usually I'm trying to think, what do I look like? Because I know I go in there and I'm looking too. Like I say it's all about them, but I secretly enjoy it too because I'm always like, oh, they've got this, and I'm like, because I like they have like Garbage Pail Kids stuff. They have like all this random stuff, and like my whole room in here is like Baby Yoda threw up. Like he's everywhere, and my mom thinks I have a problem. But the thing is, I have bought a lot of it, but a lot of people have sent me stuff, like fans and stuff. I'm like, next thing they're like, "What's your PO box?" And I'll tell them like, I'm like, they're gonna write me a letter or something. It's a Baby Yoda. It's a Baby Yoda, and I'm like, where am I gonna put all these things? I think I like counted them one time, and it's like over 100 in here. Look, hang on, if I could just show you, like. I don't know if you can see way up here. And if you can see,
That's perfect.
well, there's some up there. That's the Lego one. This is where it gets bad. Like,
I love this.
and then up here,
They're
I don't know if you can see all those, but it's like it. And then there's like more way up here. I don't know if you can see. And then I have another one down here. Like they're everywhere. It's bad.
There are a lot of them.
Yeah, and my mom's like, Allison, quit buying them. I'm not buying them. There's more on the other. I didn't forget about those. Like they're everywhere though. Like they're everywhere. And then and then I started getting into Stranger Things, and then I started getting Stranger Things stuff, and I'm like, I'm running out of room. Like I had to have my friend build me those shelves because I didn't have any more space. I was like, I need shelves. Like I'm running out of room with these baby Yodas. And he's like, you're literally having me make shelves for your Baby Yodas, and I'm like, yeah, I am guilty. But there's like 100 of them. Like, and I'm like, Mom, I promise you, I'm not buying these things. I'm not buying them. I mean, like I said, I bought a few, but not all these. Like, and I'll get them for like Christmas presents or something. Or I'll get one for my birthday, and then they just add up, and then next thing you know, they're everywhere. I'm sorry, I have a problem. It could be worse. It could be worse. But no, it's just that's like one of my favorite shows, and there for like a while I was like really obsessed and making it known, and then like everybody found out, and that's what happened. Like Like I used to have I still have a Twitch channel, but I just haven't had time to like really get on and do it. But like Baby Yoda was like, he was like a theme on there. Like everybody was just, that's all that they want to talk to me about. And like I even had like little emojis like my friend made, and it was like Baby Yoda, but it had me as a guitar, like a cartoon face. So it was like I was wearing a Baby Yoda suit, and then my bass player, he's like got a lot of hair. He got a big beard, long hair, so we made him Chewbacca. And then Rocky's like grumpy a lot, so we like made up a stormtrooper. Like, and then I think she made John like, I think he was like Han Solo with like the beard and stuff. And then we had like a BB-8. It had like the rose on it, and it would like shine the rose. It was kind of cool. Like she got really creative with those when she made those. But I had those on my Twitch channel, and like you just see little Baby Yodas popping up on the Twitch channel. Like it was like, yes, like this is great. This is great. But I'm hoping they have a new season. They should. I hope they do. Surely they're going to have a new season. Surely they will. I feel like they can't just leave it how they left it.
Sorry?
I said like Mandalorian. I said I feel like they're going to have another season. I don't think they can
Oh,
leave
sure.
it like where they left it.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm like waiting so bad for that. you
I
would
know.
laugh at me.
I
There was
know.
one night.
Pedro Pascal.
He's just so cute. Like he just, they can't help it. There was one night though, and I had like a really bad day at work, and I was just really upset. It was just like one of those nights, and I turned on. I don't remember what episode it was, and it was one where he was just being super cute, just super super cute, and I was like, look at him, he's so cute, and I'm like crying. Because I'd already had like a bad day. And my husband's looking at me like, you have a problem? Like, he's like, you have a problem. And I'm like, he's just so cute. And he's like, you need to turn this off and go to bed right now, you know? And he's like, you're literally crying over this. You know, I'm like, I know. And the bad thing is though, I wasn't even a big Star Wars fan until it came out. So what happened was I was like, I refused to watch it. I was like, I'm not getting down this rabbit hole. No, I'm not going down this rabbit hole. And my husband was like obsessed with it. He loves Star Wars since he was little, you know, and I'm like, fine. I like, I'll watch it. I watched it and I was like, this is corny. I don't even like this. You know, this is when I didn't have a very big open mind about things. And I think I was like, I don't even know. It was so long ago and I was just not having it. I was like, I am not watching this. And then Mandalorian came out and he started watching it. And I was like, who is this little cute fella? You know, and automatically it pulled me in and I could not stop watching it. Like I've probably watched it 3 times, like the whole, like all seasons, like 3 times. I probably watched it that much. And he's like I've created a monster. I was like, you really did. You created. I'm like, this is your fault. I'm like, this is all your fault because I was anti Star Wars for like the longest time. And then he walks, how he walks, he walks over and I'm like, all right, I'm in, I'm sold. And I like never looked back since. So then I had to rewatch every Star Wars because like I got to know Grogu's backstory. I got to know where he stemmed from, where he came from. And then I got a little obsessed with Yoda. It's like you need to stop, and that's why he's like I kind of knew once you watched it, you were gonna get really into it. He's like I really should have known better. I was like, you really should have because like it's bad. Like my mom thinks I have a problem. I'm not even lying. Like I even this is really sad to say too, but I even got the one that has a controller and he follows you around. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Like, yeah, yeah. And so I was like scaring the dog with it, and like, he was following, him around, and the dog's looking like make it stop. It's like look, he just followed me around, and yeah, I have a problem, but I will say, I've been in stores and I've seen a lot of Baby Yoda stuff and haven't bought anything lately. So I'm doing good. It's
That's
hard.
perfect.
It's hard sometimes. But there was what was it? It was gosh, it was something I wanted. I was like, I'm gonna get that. It wasn't Baby Yoda, that was Star Wars though. It was gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I can't I can't think of the name. I can see him in my head. I'm having a blank. Jaw with a Hut. There was a huge Jaw with a Hut, and I wanted him because it was just like a big slime, and I was like, I want him so bad. And I was like, but you know what? I'm looking around. I'm like, absolutely nowhere to put him. Like, I have nowhere to put him, but I wanted him so bad. And he was like this big. I'm not even lying. And I was
There is
like,
always a space for one more.
I know, like, and like to the point right now, I'm looking around like, where could I put him if I wanted him? Like where could I put him? Because he's so cool. Like he's just big. Like I'm looking at like my other ones, and I mean, like I don't know where I'd put him.
You can use the force to hold it.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the force, and I'm gonna make another shelf like right there. He needs like he almost like needs his own little mini shelf. That's how big he is. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I've got time for a few more questions. I got to get off in a second. But if you have anything else, let me know.
What do you miss the most when you go on tour?
Say it one more time.
What do you
It's
miss the most? Miss the most when you go on
what
tour?
do I need the most? Okay, so my since I'm a diva, I like to wear a different outfit every show. So like I'll tell you a funny story real quick. What I need the most is a big bag is what I need because what happened is we played. I think we did like 7 day run or something, and I didn't like I overpacked in a small bag, and needless to say, the bag broke. So all my clothes are just in the van, like in the strewn bag. And so what ended up happening was they had to buy me a tote, like a freaking bin to put all my stuff in. And they're like, Allison, you're gonna have to do something different about this. I said, they're like, we can't keep a big tote, like almost like a big tote, like we kept merch in. But like I kind of overpack because I don't ever know what I'm gonna need. So I'm like, I'm doing more than I should. I'm like, okay, I might need it's a 7 day run, but I need 15 pairs of pants. Like it's like I have to be better about that. Like that last run told me I overpacked, and I was like, you got to do better. Cause like so I think like the main thing is like I pack too much clothes, and I think they're like essential, and I have to have way too many, and then I end up leaving the toothpaste, because I've overthought the other, and then I'm like, we gotta stop at Walgreens or Walmart. I gotta get some toothpaste. They're like, you didn't bring toothpaste? I was like, nope, I was too busy packing clothes. Like, it's bad. So they have told me, they're like, you gotta do better if we do this, again soon. You cannot overpack. And I'm like, I know. But I don't like necessarily like think I have to like certain thing. I mean, of course you have to have your phone and like a charger and stuff, but like everything else, like I mean makeup, but like my main thing is having enough clothes. It's like having my outfits. That's so diva of me, but I can't help it.
That's really important in life.
I really,
I feel you.
if it was up to me, I'd have like, all right, so we have like this, we call it the vault, and they keep their guitars in it. If it was up to me, I'd have my own vault, and it would have clothes hangers in it. And I just have all my clothes hanging up, like my main things I was going to wear. Like in my own perfect reality world, that's what I would have. And it just have all of them in there. And then look, and then I could have my makeup at the bottom in a little case, and then I could have like all my other stuff, like undershirts and undergarment. Like I have that at the bottom. See, I'm seeing this. This would be perfect. They would never let me do that though. They'd be like, "No, if you're not that big of a diva, you can't have all that." So then the bag breaks, and then I have to shove everything in a tote. This is what it comes to. So I guess that would be like what's essential is I gotta have enough outfits to like not wear the same thing every night because I'm an ultimate diva. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but
Well, most of the artists wear the same
a
outfit
lot. But like some of them
every day
do.
of the
But like
tour.
but I do notice a lot of female artists they do wear different things. I've noticed, and I was like, well, there's somebody else out there like me. I'm not the only crazy one. Because I noticed like Ginger, I think she wears like something different every night. I've noticed that. I'm like, yeah, she does that, and then like I don't know if Spirit Box. I think sometimes she wears the same thing, but she changes it up. But I was like, is anybody else out there extra like me? Like has to have something different every time. But I will say though, we played two shows and I kind of almost wore the same thing. And I didn't. It wasn't exactly the same thing, but it's very similar, which is not like me to do. But I told you now, like I've changed a lot. I'm like keeping it more simple, more black, more just like sleek, and so I don't have to really like overthink it anymore. So basically, it'd be like a ton of like black clothes is all, and then you can't determine what's what because it all looks the same. It really is bad, but I mean, I guess that's the difference. But I've seen some guys go a little crazy, but I think that's the difference is we're just a little too more like a little more extreme when it comes to that. Like, because you asked me earlier about the outfits and stuff. I mean, that's just like a very I feel like a chick thing to do is we just like differentiate. We like making it look different. Like, and it can kind of look the same, but like we just like we're worried about the fashion of it too. I feel like we like to add the fashion aspect just because I don't know. I just think we're wired a different way than they are. We really are because they if it was up to them, they would wear the same black T-shirt and black pants every show. Me, I'm like, no, I gotta do this. That's just how I've always been. But it's like, it's almost always been like fun for me to create an outfit too to wear on stage. So there's like there's a fun aspect of it too. But sometimes I'm just like, what am I gonna do? Okay, just wear black. Because it's simple to do. It's one of those, it's just everybody's got their own preference, but Rocky's always like, we just need to wear black. That's just the best thing we can do because it's just simple. There's not a lot to it. And I'm like, there's something to that because when we all look uniform, it does look cool. Like when we all have the same kind of like vibe going on because there was like, I remember there was one show like we were just kind of all doing what we wanted. And I think Jed had like a flamingo shirt on. And we're like, Jed, no more flamingo shirts. And he's like, but why? I'm like, no more flamingo shirts. It just kind of shows you like how we've like changed as artists as we've gotten like older, more mature with it. Like it's like no more flamingo shirts. He's like upset about it. He's like, why can't I wear my flamingo shirt? We're just like, no. He had something else crazy at one point too, but if I'm thinking about it, like the flamingo shirt, it sticks out the most to me because he was determined he was going to wear that flamingo shirt on stage. He was like, I'm doing this. But we let him for like two shows. Then we said no more. We're like, no more flamingo.
I've had enough of this.
Yeah. He loved it. He still has it though. And he'll wear it to practice just to like mess with us. Like he's like, I got the flamingo shirt on. And I'm like, of course you do. It's crazy though. It is.
As long as we have it.
Yeah.
So
I've probably got about 5 minutes left. If yeah, about 5 minutes if you want to wrap things up. I gotta go help my mom with something. She was like, I helped you do this. You gotta come help me. I'm like, okay, okay. That's like there's like perks to living next door to your parents. But there's also like nosy, what are you doing? Where are you going? And I'm like, I'm 30, you need to, I'm like, I'm not, you're a little kid, but that's just how that's how they are living next door to your parents. They're like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Can I come? I'm like, but then my car wouldn't start. Dad bailed me out. He came to help me. So it's like, if they help me with stuff, I'll go help them with stuff. So I'm like, okay, we can compromise here. You gotta love them, but yeah.
very nice to have
Do
your
I?
parents around. it's nice
Sorry.
to have your
Oh yeah,
parents
yeah.
a
It
good
really is. Like
relationship and everything.
it is. Like I said. Like sometimes I'm just like, y'all need to mind your business, but but at the same time, but I'm sure I've gone over there and they're like, we didn't tell you to come over here. Like what are you doing over here? So it's like I don't know. But it is very nice having, because like if I didn't have dad next door to come over and like do that, I'd still be trying to probably figure out my battery issue. So like, and like he came over, boosted it off, took it to get it fixed, and brought it back home. And I'm like, how much I owe you? Like it was like this is just nice, because I wouldn't have been able to do all that. And then have an extra car to to borrow. Like I would have probably had to miss work. Like seriously, I would have had to miss work. So there's parts to it, it's nice. And you get to see, a lot of people don't get to see their family a lot. So it's like, and then they regret it, I guess, that they don't, they didn't see them as much. Like my husband, his parents live in Arkansas, so he didn't get to see them a whole lot. So I am very, very lucky to have them next door. Parents drive you crazy, but you love them. You're just like, you gotta have your parents. It's I don't know. And they've been like my biggest supporters. Like they've come to like, oh my gosh, I don't know how many shows. Like my mom used to run the merch booth. Like she like we wouldn't have anybody, and she's like, I got you, I'll do it. Dad, he'd like, I'll drive you to wherever you need. Like before they got like older, they were going with us, and like Dad would drive us, so we didn't have to drive. He was like our little, he was our little, tour guide or whatever, and he'd where we go, and he'd be driving, But they don't come with us a lot anymore just because of getting older. But there for a while, they were like at every single show, like helping us out whatever we needed. They're loading gear, It's so yeah, they've done a lot for me. I'm very appreciative.
That's nice. So this would be everything. I don't have
Yeah, we can.
any questions left.
Well, hey, like when the new music video comes out, I'd love to chat again and we can talk about it some more.
Of
Where I
course,
can
of course.
actually, say the things that I can't say, because there's like so many things. I'm like, I want to tell her this, I want to tell her this, but I'm like, okay, I'll just wait, and then when it comes out, we can talk all about it. So it's like I'm like my biggest I'm like, Allison, shut your mouth. you're gonna spill all the beans on it, but I'm really excited about that, and I'll let you, I'll keep you updated and let you know, and I'm gonna send you those songs to check
Yes,
out.
yes,
So
you told me, yes, yes, of
like
course.
listen to both versions, and then I'd say listen to the whole album. It's great. You'll love it. You will. So, but yeah, it was great talking to you.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah,
And nice to
we'll
meet you.
definitely do it again soon. Well, I sent when like I said, when that comes out, I'll send you a message and we can catch up.
Of course.
All right. Well,
I'll
have
be
a good
looking forward
evening.
to it.
Yeah. Have a good evening. All right. I
Bye.
guess is it like 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning for you?
And yes,
Woo!
2 in the morning, more or less.
See, I don't know how you're staying up. I'd be out by now.
No, that's fine. I'm like a vampire.
You must like staying. Are you a night owl?
Yes, I
See,
am. I
see,
am.
I think if I didn't have to get up so early, I would totally be, because I love staying up. But like sometimes I just love to sleep too. So it just depends. Like I mean, I'll stay up still to like 3 o'clock if I need to. But I'm truly probably a night owl. But night owls get tired too. you know. Well, all right. It was good. It was good chatting. We'll like I said, when music video comes out, we'll do it again.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
When you
All right. Well,
can,
have a good
when you
one.
want.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.